Alright, man, since our last time seeing you people.
It's been a little minute together at least. We had our own reviews.
The last one was what? Murdaugh Mystery that we did together.
Murdaughs.
And we still got some more crazy ass shit. I feel like every time, that's how we introduce every topic. It's always some crazy ass shit that's going on, and we just gonna get right to it.
Right.
So I'm sure everybody has heard about the Jonathan Major situation, and it was interesting because I was with him the day that the
first news story and everything broke,
and we were just talking about this nigga's running the world right now. Like the world is in the palm of his hand.
You know what happened? We had already been talking about it because we've been seeing the movies that he's in between Devotion, Creed, Ant-Man, and even something before The Five Bloods was the one that I think kind of kicked off this whole run he on. But me and him was watching the women's Final Four, and maybe it was the men's Elite Eight game.
It was the Elite Eight,
and
Elite Eight or Sweet 16, one of them.
Yeah, and they had this man on every Army commercial during that day, bro. And it was funny because it ended up after all of this happened, they pulled
the Army commercial.
But it was going on that same day that it happened, so it was just crazy to me seeing he on both sides.
Hey, let me tell you though.
Like, bro,
so me and him, we're sitting on the couch just chilling, right? And I seen the information. I seen it pop up like Jonathan Majors arrested for domestic violence. In my head, I'm like,
God.
Fuck.
Then they say the main word strangulation.
I'm like, damn. Hey, so listen,
been coming up with that.
So listen, I seen it, right? I seen it, and I was so hurt on the inside. I ain't even say nothing to this nigga. And then 10, 15 minutes later, I see him scrolling his phone. He stopped. And I looked, I said, oh, he done found it. That nigga said, he looked at me, he said, bruh, did you know? I was like, yeah, man.
That's just not some shit you expecting to see, bruh.
Especially because, he's, to me, the one that black people are really rooting for right now.
And I think it was the fact of, because we knew who he was before this little run that he was on. It wasn't like he came out of nowhere, but he just, really, got on top damn near recently. But also, we don't know shit about him outside of his roles. So that's why it was interesting to me, because every interview, or even from the roles he plays, he's just a humble dude. He seemed like he be playing low key or whatever. So seeing that, it's like, god damn, again, that's really what it was.
That's really what it was. It be it gave me that feeling fuck, we can't never have shit, man.
He's on a good run.
That's what I'm like, bro. They was like, they got everybody. So then the news broke that he was actually the person that called the police. So he called the police, and he ended up getting arrested after he called the police, right? But they said the girl she
still had marks or whatever.
She had marks, but they said that she was having a mental collapse or a mental breakdown or something like that. But the interesting thing about the story is, to me, they said that the cab driver that she claimed was where he hit him at, the cab driver said that never happened. But I mean the fucking lacerations came from somewhere, so that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, exactly.
And then the lawyer ends up releasing the text messages, and I want to read them to y'all.
Before that, the other news was it went from all that came out first was he was arrested, domestic abuse / strangulation. That just sound like the guy.
And they was killing his ass on Twitter.
And then, like you said, they said that it ended up being that he called the police first and she was dealing with her, whatever. And then they dropped the charges.
Right.
And then the lawyer released the messages. Right. I just had to put that in there because the charges dropped, so it made it seem like it wasn't as severe as they painted out to be at first. You know what I'm saying? But then when the text messages came out, we just damn, I don't know where the hell to go from here.
Cause to me, the text messages it sounds more so like a person realizing they fucked up the bag than somebody who really just lied. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that still made me oh shit. And then it's crazy. It's even crazier because his lawyer is the one that released the shit.
You don't really. I didn't get that. I didn't get that part.
After she said he didn't do it, I would have just left it
at that.
there. Because all right, so I'm about to read the messages. This is the girl. Please let me know you're okay when you get this. They assured me that you won't be charged. They said they had to arrest you as protocol when they saw the injuries on me and they knew we had a fight.
Protocol.
I'm so angry that they did, and I'm sorry you're in this position. We'll make sure nothing happens about this. I told them it was my fault just trying to grab your phone. So when she said I don't know, it's just
yeah, you feel me?
So she said I only just got out of the hospital. Just call me when you're out. I love you. Then she says later on, which was 3 hours later, they just called again to check on me, and I reiterated how this was not an attack and they do not have my blessing on any charges being placed. I read the paper they gave me about strangulation. That's such a damn strong.
That's what I'm saying. When I see that
word,
word, I'm like, God, you don't get that from nowhere.
Yeah, bro. Strangulation. That's a strong ass word, bro. Cause that to me, like that means you just took it. Yeah, it's such. Yeah, it's like to strangle, like someone just took my motherfucking ass. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just such a strong word, strangulation. And I said point blank, this did not occur and should be removed immediately. The judge is definitely going to be told this. She ensured this to me. I know you have the best team and there's nothing to worry about. I just want you to know that I'm doing all I can on my end. I also said to tell the judge to know that the origin of the call was due with me collapsing and passing out and your worry as my partner due to our communication prior. Out of care, she promised all will be relayed. So,
a lot of shit.
What do you take? What do you feel like? What is your take on just the messages itself? Like, what image do you think?
I think, like you said at first, it definitely. First of all, it seemed like her overall explanation of it is just like, how can we get this taken care of? You know what I'm saying?
Because she never addressed the fact that she lied.
Yeah,
like she never said I lied. She just said I told them something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So like, because I don't know if it's public record. I don't know what her statement was at the time where they first showed up to the house or whatever. If that made them, because I know in general, black dude, white wife, call the police. All right, we don't care who called what.
You're getting arrested.
We're gonna worry about your.
You're getting arrested.
So I don't know if she still wasn't in the right mind at that moment. You get what I'm saying? If they're saying
it
was
just
a mental episode,
out.
Right. So I don't know if she whatever, but I still my point is, I guess what I'm saying is like, even in the case of with being a mental episode, where did the marks around their neck
come from? And that's
because I understand what you said with protocol. Like I get that part for them. On top of him just being black, they like that's the internal protocol. That might not even be in the record, but like I can understand why they had to at least take him in and see what the fuck was going on. But yeah, from the text message, it definitely seems like not necessarily remorseful that. I think she's just remorseful that it got to that level.
Because I'm about to say, and another like kind of like my analysis on it is, I think that also she knows that she wasn't completely in the right in the situation. Like she might have known that she might have slapped this nigga and it might have hit him, and then he might have grabbed her or some shit or something like that. But I mean, I don't know, because also like the witnesses they say that was in these places that she said happened, they said it didn't happen. But like you said, I mean, you can't argue with Mark unless she just did that to herself. So I'm interested to see how that situation plays out, because I mean, bro, I know this might not be the best thing to say, but bro, I was nervous as hell for my movie sake. Because I love Marvel movies, and Kang is like, bro, you gotta realize,
nigga right now, especially the way it end up. What's next?
At the end of Ant-Man, there was literally like 5 million Kangs, like all in this. Like that's how much he has to do with it, and for him to have like lost that.
You said shit was over with.
Oh man, that would have been ugly fucking business, bro. Yeah, that would have been ugly business, bro. And honestly, the shit's still not over, because I believe he has a court date, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's a whole process, and that's why when she like at the end, trying to make sure that the judge gets all my sentiments and letting them know it wasn't my fault. Like, I guess my point is, it's gonna be a lot of unraveling on her side from what initially happened. We still don't know. I think we won't know probably until the court case, the court date.
And that's if she even says anything, because she can elect to not say anything, and that can really pretty much be that.
That's true.
I do think the situation will eventually end up dying over.
I also wonder, not to cut you off, when she said they don't have my blessing to proceed forward with you get what I'm saying? So what happens there? Because who would be the defendant? Is it gonna be the state against it? You get what I'm saying? Like, I wonder how that's gonna play out too. See, so that's gonna be interesting.
I wish I was in my lawyer bag right now. I couldn't tell you the answers to that shit, but I don't know the answers to that. I do think this is gonna be one of those situations that end up blowing over due to the fact that she's withdrawing the way she is. So I think that like she won't press the needle on it. But I don't really have an opinion on the fact whether or not he's actually innocent or guilty, because this is just another one of those situations where it's just like,
wasn't there.
We wasn't there. I mean, the stories are very conflicting, and but nonetheless, I just hope that I hope that he didn't do anything.
Nah, for real.
And I hope that I get my damn Marvel movies, bro. That's really my concern. Like, it's not even about none of the other shit he in, bro. I just need to make sure my Marvel movies get done. So I'm sure we'll probably talk about Jonathan Majors again on a future episode, depending on how this situation plays out. But as of right now, that's all we have for Jonathan Majors.
Right. So, from one celebrity indictment or charge or whatever case against them, we're gonna go to another one.
To the celebrity.
The big one.
Yeah.
The biggest.
Big T.
Ain't talking about that boy
Big
Trump.
T.
I know if you haven't heard, Trump got indicted by a New York grand jury on 30 counts of various fraud. Let me see. 30 counts related to business fraud in the indictment. So before we got on air, and even in general we were discussing it, I wasn't sure because there was a lot of things going around from him getting indicted to folks saying he got arrested. I don't know if you saw the AI pictures that folks made up.
Yeah, of him.
Bro, that shit was
that
so
AI
funny,
shit
dog.
is
That shit
dangerous,
real.
bro. Because that shit looks real.
That
Like, that shit
all
looks real.
taken from real pictures
Yeah.
on the internet, but can make its own shit. So that shit was funny as hell, bro. Just imagining him trying to fight Twitter, trying to get out the handcuffs.
Man, Trump old ass body be that fell apart trying to do that shit.
Lip quivering and shit. So yeah, basically, we were trying to see outside of just the indictment, like what, because that happened 2 days ago. We're filming this on April 2nd. I think he got indicted on the 30th. But basically, the process of the indictment is like somebody gets indicted. That's basically the police saying that we have, evidence, or we're forming a case against X person, right? Sometimes, like they said, it was 30 counts of various fraud, but the actual cases and the types of fraud that happen is gonna remain sealed until the actual case comes up,
right?
Because they don't want to spill the information that can tip off Trump's lawyers and all his rich ass folks to be able to fight the case. So the charges that get approved from the grand jury are not public right now. In some cases, so I think that's what they're trying to do in this moment. Try to negotiate a self-surrender for Trump, so they don't have to go in and be like the AI pictures and drag his ass up out of there. And then you have the public proceedings, and then the arraignment, which will be the actual like court date and everything. So they say the former president is supposed to appear Tuesday for his arraignment. I haven't heard anything about self-surrender or anything, but because it happened last week on Tuesday, supposedly the arraignment is gonna happen. So
he gonna show up.
Yeah,
he gonna show up.
He definitely should. With 30 cases and like, bruh, and it's like you see the DOJ here. Isn't it? I don't know. She Department of Justice, but whatever her name, that was getting them RICO charges for thugging them.
Oh, you talking about damn, what's the name of it? DEA.
DEA, not DOJ. But yes, they
said DOJ.
Somebody come and fix that. But they trying to get his ass on all the fraud, the mail fraud and everything with the elections out here too.
Right.
So like, it wouldn't be smart for him to not show up here because nigga, you got everything going on. So you trying to fight all these cases as they come up. So they on his ass on Tuesday.
I just never in a million years thought I would live to see a damn president.
Not only did he get impeached, while we didn't think we would see that because we heard about that shit in school. Only one other president has been impeached, but he's the only president to be impeached and remain his finish out his tenure. Right. Yeah, that shit was crazy. And then like you're saying, getting arrested and indicted too. Like niggas don't from presidents, bro. You don't see that.
I was just having a conversation too with one of my coworkers. I'm just like, bro, imagine if Obama just did one singular of the things that he did. Once that video or that audio leaked of Trump saying just grab her pussy or something like that, that should have immediately like had that hit the scene for Obama. It would have been over with. Oh, and see, Trump also got lucky. So Trump got lucky as fuck that he was running against a woman. So it really highlighted the sexist within the country.
Especially in politics.
What? Because had Trump be going against another white man that year when all that shit was coming out, Trump would not have won
in the first place. And then from like what you said, they tried to get Obama out for smoking cigarettes and not even having like super it was like one random ass picture.
I was about to say, Obama popped out in a tan suit. Them niggas acting like he just damn.
This isn't a show of power.
What
kind of man?
Nigga fresh
but it's just crazy. Like y'all have, and I'm not even like the biggest Obama fan because I think anybody that holds the title of presidency, there are certain things that you have to do that wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, morally right or constitutional, or maybe by this dumbass constitution that we got, but they had to go find shit to be mad at about Obama. This is my point. Versus a nigga who was actually a bad person.
like actual,
like time
a known bad person prior to his presidential. Bro, when he first started running for president, I thought this shit was a joke.
No, who didn't?
You know what I mean? Like, I thought this shit was literally a joke, and then it really dead ass got more and more serious. I remember the election day, it started off, I remember Saturday Night Live had that little shit where it was talking about like how election night started off, because it was Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, facts.
It was like election night started off like, like da-da-da-da, Hillary, da-da-da-da. And boy, every single time it was like, but see, these states gonna be blue over here.
Right.
And them bitches turned over red.
Midnight when these votes come in.
Shit, bro. And then Trump really became president. And I'll be honest with you though, the only thing I can say positive about Trump is, bro, he was the most entertaining nigga in the world for the 40. You just didn't know himself. What the hell. He didn't, like, Trump to me is the only nigga that didn't really get into the office and try to like change. Because like you kind of have to.
Dumbass before he went in, he acted like a dumbass there.
And to an extent, you gotta respect the nigga who's themselves through in and throughout. Like, I don't agree with the nigga.
I wish he wasn't running our. I get what you're saying,
but he not fake. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. To me, like Trump, a real nigga in his own aspect. He just a fucked up person. You know what I'm saying? But he
do a lot of real dumbass shit.
He not gonna kick it to you like he fuck with you. And then go Roger.
You're not gonna switch up. If you know, you see how we doing the Mexicans. You know he don't like.
You know he don't like you, bro, and that's what it is. Like, it for that part, I give him his credit.
I just wish we didn't elect him to the highest
power. Oh, bro, he should not be running a goddamn country, bro.
And like you said, this is unforeseen territory. Like we ain't like for this the first time in American
watching history
that a presidential candidate or actual president or former president has faced criminal charges. Because even like with the Watergate situation back in the day, or like what Bill was doing and all of that shit, that was more like civil shit.
Yeah, it was civil. That's why Bill couldn't really get in actual trouble, because it's not really
infidelity like that.
You really can't lose your job for that shit. It's just a terrible look, because politics rely on so much the family image.
But what I can say about this, I think it's interesting. He's supposedly still gonna put in his third bid to run for the 2024 campaign. Which is crazy, especially given all of this shit that's going on. Bro, I swear to God, if he beats any of these cases, especially all of these bitches, and is even able to run again,
you gotta think Trump damn near tried to get his AP smoked at the Capitol riot. Like, that's crazy. Like, bro, you know what I'm saying? And Mike Pence a fucked up person too. But it's like, damn, it's like Trump. See, the thing is, bro. See, niggas think, bro, Trump don't like Mexicans, but really at the end of the day, bro, Trump don't like nobody that's not like him.
He don't like nobody.
Give a fuck what color you are, bro. He don't care what color you are, bro. Trump is he's just Trump. Like that Capitol riot, like we don't realize how much history that we're living through, because I feel like we're in the moment.
Yeah, that's facts, literally.
Because it was interesting. I was watching this thing. I can't remember exactly what it was, but like how much history they lived through in the 60s and the 70s, and they didn't really realize that it was history until you look back on it. Yeah. You gotta think, like, they witnessed MLK got killed, Fred Hampton got killed, Malcolm got killed, got assassinated, the president, Kennedy got assassinated, his brothers got killed. Like, it was a lot of really important people were dying, like
back to back.
And that's like a lot of like that's really like I can't even imagine watching TV and just seeing the president head get blown off his shoulders, bro. You know what I mean? Like, the world was in chaos.
And it's crazy because, like you say, it's hard for people to, and even for us, I can understand in both instances, to truly realize the moment you're living in. Because, like you're saying, I couldn't imagine doing that, but also, just because the president got shot don't mean niggas ain't got to go to work on Monday.
Yeah, that's serious.
Because people got to keep going. It's hard.
It's hard to like really soak in the moment.
Sit and be like, damn, that shit is crazy.
Bills still
really
do.
Happened. Yeah, you feel me?
Baby still got to eat.
President not paying the bills.
And then it's such an overload of information with social media and stuff like that now.
Because we, in general, this part of society is on a shorter term memory than back then.
Way shorter term. Because you got to think.
Shit with Brittany Griner, for example, as big as the stories that was, it feels like that was forever ago.
Yeah, it came and went, for sure. And then, like, back then, all of the information relied on, like, radio or newspapers.
Everybody was hearing it at once, which I think was interesting. And that's why, like,
one big story a week type shit.
Like 9/11 for us, that's how that shit felt for them back then because everybody was getting it at the same time.
Right.
Like everybody turning the radio, they cutting off they movies or they shows on ABC and shit to show the news at the same time. So everybody like, damn. So I could picture like back then it was on some niggas see some shit and niggas probably going outside afterwards like, did y'all hear that? Like,
Bruh,
you feel me?
You know they did because that's how information spread.
Yeah, word of mouth.
Instead of like now, you be seen it on Twitter before that shit even broke.
You hit the group chat and be like, did y'all see this?
Like I found out Kobe died on the internet, like on TMZ, and I was watching ESPN at the time, and I was like, that shit gotta be fake, because the tweet was an hour ago. Like when I seen it, it was an hour ago, and I had been watching ESPN this whole time, me and my partner Chuck, and I'm like, damn, like information spreads so fast. Like you gotta think, even back then, you had to wait for TV or the radio or the newspaper.
I was gonna say sometimes they wouldn't even know till the next day when they got the paper.
Exactly, bro. Yeah. Exactly. So the way information spreads now is just on another level, and I think it's only gonna get more instant and more instant. I mean, it's already instantaneous. Had to sound that one out.
Boy been teaching.
Oh yeah. And look. Speaking of teaching,
what?
This shooting shit.
Damn.
We actually
back here again because we talked about the last one.
We talked about the Buffalo shooting. That was a Buffalo shooting, right?
Yeah.
The Uvalde. The Uvalde.
We talked about both, but Uvalde was the last main like school shooting. You know what's crazy? Before we just get into everything overall about the incident, I think I seen some shit about the police chief in Nashville where this recent one just happened, and I just hate how the conversation is never about the fucking guns and restricting them themselves. It's always a conversation about overall the situation, right? And how the police sometimes can be, I mean, I understand it because they're in it and that's their life, but they're so narrow-minded and they're thinking that the nigga was like, basically, this was bad, but when the police video came out of how the officers handled the shooting, he was like, I'm just glad that we didn't do what those Uvalde assholes did, man. This is how you're supposed to do. I'm like, this is not so like this ain't supposed to happen for niggas to be able to do it.
So, this is not the time to be like, oh yeah, we did better than them though. Yeah, like no, niggas died. And then even beyond that though, to show just to signal to show you how terrible the situation was, bro. All I had heard was the kids died. I hadn't even realized that fucking adults died in there too.
Yeah,
like I had seen the pictures. I'm like, oh, they didn't even say it was a black. One of the dudes was black. If I'm not mistaken, I think he was maybe the custodian or something.
Yeah, bro.
But I'm like, damn, like, so it was a trans student, and I believe was it a Christian school? Like it was a Christian school.
A private Christian campus. So some folks that would never expect no shit. I mean, no school they really expect some shit like this. But
it says the shooter, Nashville resident Audrey Hale, had no previous criminal record before opening fire at the Covenant School, killing 3 children and 3 adults. So she killed 6 people. Yeah. There's some belief that there was some resentment for having to go to that school. Oh, okay. So did she go there? Did she?
Maybe so.
Is that what they're trying to say?
As a kid.
It makes sense though for it to be a Christian school and for you to be a trans person.
Yeah. It makes sense.
That's the correlation for that, and you can see how the hate can probably present itself because I'm pretty sure a private Christian school, they probably super religious in that bitch. It's probably like really hard stance that they make on certain, especially things like that. Nonetheless, bro, that shit does not make it okay. And Ray brought up a good point. She said that they try to make it like a trans people are a dangerous thing, but to me it's not
not just that. I don't think that's not. I wouldn't discount it as a factor, but I think that only brought into question because of the situation, like you just said, because it was a Christian school.
Right.
So I think in this situation, I can understand where there's some animosity, but to say this is a reason, like this is a factor in showing that trans people can be violent, I don't think that's
no, because bro, it's not.
It was a white person.
It was a white person. That's what the fuck it is.
Track record for doing things like this.
That's what it is, bro. It's not no excuse for that, and like you can't. It's not fair to group like just trans, because bro. I mean, it's plenty of other school shootings and shit.
Exactly, I was gonna say,
and
how many other instances
trans,
do we have like this? Exactly.
You know what I mean? So like, let's find the real consistent piece in this shit. And it's the color. It's the color, like, and that's interesting to me because for as much sense that I feel like we as our colored people don't have sometimes.
Right.
At least I can say, as a nigga that done ran from a lot of shootings between football games and all this type of shit, at least niggas coming with a specific person in mind.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't like this person, or I don't like this group of people, so I'm gonna go at them right here. And sometimes people do get caught in the crossfire.
Or you just missing aim and shit like that.
People is not like, you don't hear it too many times when niggas like, I'm just fed up with life, and everybody that come across my path is gonna feel it. It's
right?
Not.
Yeah, no. Because I mean, bro, that shit is just not.
You only see that on TV.
And I feel like, and I wonder if that has something to do with like black people in general, in just terms of being resilient to shit not going our way.
That's
you know what I mean?
Bro, we have a lifetime and generations of.
That's what I
having
mean.
to
Like,
go
we're
through
kind
it.
of used in a way to shit not going our way.
I think it's easier for, not even just for us, but for some people to have some kind of humility or morality in their spirit, to where like, to feel for another person. I think from the standpoint of black people, we always know that somebody else in our community could be doing worse than us.
Right.
To where I don't ever want to put this burden on somebody else.
What you just said was probably the best thing you said. When you said, it's not, I feel like the closer you are to being broke or poor is the closer you are to really understanding what humanity is and what it is like to be human, because the majority of the world is poor.
To know what you don't have.
Yeah, yes.
And for people to, like in this instance, how they said it was some resentment for her having to go there. Shawty was 28, right? Unless, I'm not sure, they say that it was a substitute teacher that she killed. So like, everybody, if you killed 3 students and 3 teachers, one was a substitute teacher, one was a custodian, and another, I think, was a permanent teacher at the school.
You couldn't have been mad at the custodian.
But my thing is too, facts, what did he do but clean up your goddamn mess?
Yeah.
If you had some resentment of going to that school and you're 28 years old and it's a Christian elementary school or just overall private campus, the kids were young though. Nobody at that school had to do with your resentment, is my point.
Yeah.
So even like you're saying of the instance of,
they're
like,
a product just like you was when you were there.
Exactly. So like, if you don't like the idea of this school, like, okay, shoot a bullet into the wall. Like, that's the school. You know what I'm saying? Like, to go kill people that's, and I'm not even saying shoot a bullet into because that don't, like, it's not gonna help.
No,
it's not gonna help. Because overall, you died at the end. She got shot at the end.
And that'd be my whole thing. Is like, you ain't
like,
even really lived to see the results of what you just did, or because you're not gonna make it out of that.
If you really felt so strongly about the school and having to go there, or if it was resentment from your parents making you go there or whatever, and especially with you going through that transition as a trans person, how about you try to be a part of the initiative to try to make the school better, so that the kids that's growing up don't have to go through what you
you have to consider the consequences of what you're doing. Like, as a trans person, and just, I mean, obviously, like, a trans person in terms of the community is like, quote unquote, a minority, right? So you have to be mindful of what the storyline or the narrative will be after you've done this. It doesn't help the cause at hand the way you might have thought it was, because now you see that people are blaming the trans community, and honestly, it's just gonna get even worse for them. So, I mean, killing, especially in mass, is never the answer. It doesn't really bring you. I don't feel like
any peace or whatever you're looking to gain from that. I don't think people ever get it.
No. Because I mean, you either don't make it out alive or you go to jail for the rest of your life. I mean, most people shouldn't make it out alive. No. Like, I remember when we had that conversation. I feel like once you make that choice to go and take multiple people's lives, bro, your life should not be spared if you're in it. Like I don't care if that person walked out that school with his hands up. You walk out that school with your hands up and you just killed 4 or 5 folks, bro. You need to get your ass fucking shot, bro. Like, you're not, just because you said I'm done killing these niggas, I'm putting the gun down, that shouldn't spare your life, because what you have done now, you've already went past. I can see if you just went in there and held everybody up, but ain't nobody dead. Yeah. Okay, cool. Because you ain't really killed nobody yet. You was about to do something really dumb, but you didn't. You know what I'm saying? So that should spare your life. But once you shoot that, especially a child,
that'd be my whole thing, bro. Just like, how much hate do you have in your heart?
Cause when I watched that video of the police like going through the school, and I was just thinking, you know, obviously I'm a teacher, and I'm just thinking like, I couldn't even imagine the chaos in that bitch. Just like hearing though, cause you gotta think, I'm a 4th grade teacher, but One of my favorite teachers on the 3rd grade hallway. Some of my favorite kids over there.
It's a school.
It's a school. Everybody's all over that bitch. So it's just like, it's not even like you just worry about the people in your classroom. It's like you hear these shots going off. So you know, I know everybody in the building. Like I know all of the adults, and I've seen every child. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like them shots were definitely fired at somebody.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And in the school, you're pretty much gonna always, wherever there's children, there's gonna be that adult as well. So it's like, fuck, at least 25 people could have just, like, that bullet could have went at one of any 25, 30 people that's inside of that classroom. You know what I'm saying? You just don't never know. That shit is just, they gotta do something about the guns. I just don't know what you would do. I just don't know what you would do. Because honestly, the fact that everybody has one makes you have to have one.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So like, if you was to get rid of it, if you was gonna say we gotta get rid of guns, you would have to go and collect everybody's shit. But people also pay for this. So what are you gonna do in terms of giving people their...
Because the thing is, this is America we talking about, and guns is one of the oldest American traditions. And even before it was America, that's how they flexed their power or whatever. Right. So it's like, I understand, agree completely what you're saying, because it's like if they can't even agree on like reparations, just from the monetary standpoint of like America admitting that something was did wrong, right, and now we have to pay people back or have some kind of retribution for it. Reparations are a realistic thing, by the way, because other countries have gave reparations for certain shit, and America has given reparations for the Native Americans, right? Yeah. They've given reparations. Reparations, not mistaken. Maybe the Asian American or Asian communities was something like it. There have been multiple instances of reparations, some type of reparation, yeah. But yeah, just from the standpoint of like Joe said, people pay money for these guns, so you're not gonna just walk in and take them. One, if you do, you're gonna have to pay people back for them, and then even with that, how is that process gonna be headed out? And then there's so many illegal and off market, and folks is 3D printing guns and switches and whatever, all type of shit. And then you gotta think, bro. Everybody's house don't just have 1 or 2 guns, bro. Some people have like safes, vaults full of guns. Like some people got 20 plus guns. Like people really have a lot of fucking guns, bro. And they might have been collecting these guns for a long time. It's a problem that America let go on too long, to the point where I don't think that there's no real solution to this. I think that what they could do is limit, like in terms of public carrying. But as far as guns itself, it's not ever gonna go anywhere, because you just can't. You can't. There's no way to know, and you can't remove the arms from certain people and then have certain people still have it, because it gives them too much power. Exactly. You know what I mean? So, because if we think, for example, these police shootings now are bad. Imagine if they know for sure. Because the thing is, they be upping on folks that got a phone case in their hand thinking it's a gun. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if it was illegal to have one at all, any instance of somebody looking like they got something, they gonna find that reason to try to shoot them. Police knowing that they have that extra power more so than they already have. I was about to say, even more than anything though, I think it'll give police too much. I forgot what issue. I think that was the issue they were trying to prevent, and that's why they gave people the rights to bear arms, is because in the first place, there's not enough. You don't have the ability to protect yourself. In other words, if the government wanted to do anything, there's no way that y'all can stand up against it, because you don't have no weapons. So you can't take down people armless. Like you can't take down nothing as big as the United States government armless. Like it's not gonna happen. So I do believe that this won't be our last time talking about guns. This won't be our last time talking about shootings. And I think it'll be a repeated, it's gonna be a repeated topic for the rest of all of our lives. That shit's not going nowhere. It's just only getting worse, and it'll just continue to get worse. But more than anything, it's becoming so normal that it's not even really a big topic. That's of my biggest concern, bro. Is like, because even with us speaking on it, right? I don't know 100% because I haven't looked it up, but I'm more than sure that this isn't even the last school shooting that's happened since Uvalde. Right. It's probably just been the one big enough to make news. Right. Or they might not have body cam footage for it, so they're not gonna put it everywhere. We might not even say not even to just say school shooting. Let's just say shooting in general. Shooting, I think I had seen the type of number. Hold on, let me look up this number, bro. It was saying I think we're more on the year, like the number of days in the year. We have more school shootings so far in this year than there are days. Let me see. Mass shootings this year. We've had. When we talked about Buffalo and Uvalde, we were already like past the number for the day. We've had 67 mass shootings so far. Oh, there have been 128 mass shootings so far this year. What day are we in?
Yeah, no, it didn't sound right because when I seen the number initially, I know it was 3 digits. So that's why I was like, when I seen that, I'm like, nah, it's more than 60 something. So yeah, it's 128. About 12 shootings, one of which can be defined as a mass shooting, have occurred on the K through 12 campuses. So 12 of these shootings have been on school campuses, which is crazy.
What was the number? 167.
We've had. It says there's been at least 128 mass shootings so far this year, bro. We're in April.
And when is that article published?
March 27th.
Okay, so at that point, March 27th, that's the 88th day of the year, and we're at 123.
Which is pretty much like to do the number. That's like 1 1/4 mass shootings a day. Like. You know what I mean? And so it says the gun violence archive tracked more than 647 mass shootings in 2022 and 690 in 2021. At this time last year, the country had experienced 113 mass shootings. So we're already way ahead of last year's number, which was 647.
And I think it's crazy because it's sad that, like what we just said, this won't be the last time we talk about it. This won't be the last time it happens because guns in general are so ingrained in American culture. But every other country, like, we're a laughing stock from that standpoint, just of the safety part.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Other than the third world countries that don't have too much regulation, like countrywide, but like the Canadas and Chinas or whoever.
I was about to say,
like the UK.
I seen this TikTok video of Japan, and it was saying that the kids just walk, like, little kids roam Japan freely with no parental guidance because they said in Japan they've created a culture where the adults know that it's their responsibility to keep the kids safe,
as it should.
So there's not like, I watched this video. I don't know exactly what country it was in, but you know the kids kind of roam freely. This dude had picked up this kid and tried to run away. The town beat the fuck out that nigga, bro. Like, I'm talking about whoop his ass. It was like 30 people came and jumped him, bro. Like, literally, one person came and got the kid, kind of took the kid out of there, and everybody, like, niggas was bringing bikes and shit. They whooped this nigga ass, bro. But that's how it should be. Like,
that's how it should be. Like, you can't get away, and don't think you can get away with it.
With no shit, like, bro, like, and you should be able to, like,
gonna be complicit because America,
especially with children,
exactly.
Bro.
America is so ingrained in, like, every man for themselves. The capitalism structure, everybody just trying to get as much as they can in whatever it may be. So much happens in America where people turn the other way and like, it's not my business.
Not my business. And the reason why niggas be doing that too, bro, is because it's so dangerous to get into a nigga business. like in Japan, these niggas. See, I learned a lot about Japan through anime. I realized that Japan, you can't have guns. There's no guns there. So I can definitely come step in and help this person because I know. At the worst, he might just knuckle up better than me. He might whoop my ass. You feel me? But I don't gotta worry about dying. See, like I'm really not trying to die,
of confrontation.
Bro. Yeah,
for real. It's just different.
I'm really not trying to die, bro.
You got different shit at stake.
Not especially like, and I hate to say it, over somebody that I don't know.
No, I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like,
bro, the way you just said it is what my main point earlier about morality.
Right.
Are you a human? You get what I'm saying? Like, I should be able to defend you and not have to worry about my life because I want to make sure we can all go home.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's people that love me, and then for people like that have children, like they also have to think like, I can't jump in and save this person because if I get killed, then that's who's gonna look out for my kids.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like
I say, it's too much at stake, bro.
Yeah, it's a lot at stake. So. The world is just the world, and I think it's just gonna keep worlding. Yeah. That's really my to round that shit up, because I mean, shit just ugly, shit just hell.
I'm praying for all the families and everybody affected in Nashville. I'm hoping.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
I know that even for like some officer got he was hurt by some glass or whatever. So I hope everybody involved is cool. I hope the school can bounce back from that. That's just like
the kids got to deal with
everything. I hate. Even when we talked about the Uvalde accident, exactly. Like, bro, I don't want to go back to school. I don't want to go back there.
Why would you? I mean, especially as a child, bro. That shit is traumatic. And then like you're at school.
This is supposed to be your safe place.
The shots are loud as fuck inside that school, bro. And like the kid, I just couldn't even imagine just being around kids that much and just knowing like the panic that'd be.
Because at that point,
they ain't never seen no. They might not. Most of them kids ain't never seen no gun, heard no gun, no nothing.
You take a place that kids are supposed to look forward to and spend a majority of their time. They're there 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, to a place that they're scared to go to and having these.
And that'll be something that would be dealing with for the rest of their life, because it's like, even for me, like when I got into a car accident when I was in 9th grade. I was a passenger. I still can't ride in the car with niggas. Matter of fact, bro, if I go anywhere, 80% of the time I'm with this nigga.
Okay.
I have never rode in a car with Chuck as the driver. It's not even the fact that I don't trust Chuck. My PTSD, it just makes me so uncomfortable not being the driver in a car. So I can only imagine like a little kid at school getting shot at or hearing the gun stuff.
Everybody, for the most part, especially the younger children, but kids in general, because they're just like your brain is still going through this phase, bro. They're gonna have somewhat of a bad association with school, period.
Yeah. I mean, you don't necessarily like.
You know what I'm saying? In general, yeah, exactly. I might not even like that anyway. But now, like, in the back of my mind, this could happen. Like, it's just so much, and it goes into what we were saying
could
earlier.
happen. This did happen.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
It's facts, and it goes back into what we were saying about the person involved with the shooting just being so damn selfish, and the fact that, bro, you know how many people you are affecting by making this dumbass decision that you're not even going to be alive to see the effects of.
Right.
Or if you're not alive, you're going to be in jail, so you're definitely not going to be able to see the community.
Yeah, it's
you
just,
know what I'm saying?
it's just to me, it's just a. There's no real reward in this action. I mean, you know, your concerns might be valid, but I mean, the way you handle situations is shit. I mean,
like I said, if you don't like the school, go try to change something about it.
Yeah, I mean,
try to kill people.
Like to put it in contrast, like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, them they just go shoot up a white elementary school, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's ways, and
there's video of them folks getting hoes and dogs on
yeah. So there's ways to handle business without
getting bullied.
Yeah, and they damn like it's
crazy, bro.
It's just crazy, bro. But that's why we need y'all to stay safe in this world.
For sure.
Stay safe in this world, and we're gonna do our best to do the same as well. And that pretty much conclude this episode. Like, comment, subscribe.
For sure.
Please.
1, 2, and 3.
Yes. On the count of 3. Matter of fact, 1, 2, 3. Like. Like this motherfucker.
Team EaZy10k.
You know what I'm saying? All right, though, man. We out.
Appreciate y'all.